So, are there errors in the Bible? Uh, Today, we're going to talk about the molten sea in Solomon's temple. This passage was first brought to my attention by a famous physicist who is ethnically Jewish, but religiously, he was an atheist at the time. So I said, "Well, why are you an atheist?" He said, "Well, there's too many errors in the Bible and I can't trust them." So he said, "Well, what error are you talking about?" Well, this is the passage that he turned to. It turned out that this passage didn't say exactly what he thought it said. It was a problem with the translation more than with the passage itself. So our verse that we began with today is 1 Kings 7:23, and it says, "And he made a molten sea, 10 cubits from one brim to the other. It was round all about, and his height was 5 cubits, and a line of 30 cubits did compass it round about." 30 cubits is not even close to the correct circumference for something that's 10 cubits in diameter. So, how do most Bible scholars justify this, or most Bible teachers? First of all, they just say it's rounding. Well, some things in the Bible are approximated. Even the Septuagint, which means of the 70, was translated by 72 scholars, it's believed, so it technically means of the 70, but there were 72. But with a diameter of 10 cubits, the circumference is not even close to 30 cubits, so it's not an estimate. The other group of people that I normally hear try to justify this, they say, well, what they do is they try to fix the Bible. And they say that in one place it was measuring from the outside for the diameter, but for the circumference it was measuring from the inside. And nobody knows how thick it was. Well, the Bible doesn't need fixing. Sometimes our translations or understanding might need fixing, but the Bible itself doesn't need fixing. So the issue is with the translation, and some things don't translate well. Well, the value for pi is approximately 3.141592653589979. Rounded down, it's 3.1416, or approximately 3 1/7. There is a word in this verse that doesn't quite match, and it's the word for line. It's a word kave, and it adds he at the end. Both have a conjunction for the masculine singular, but the word is not masculine. It's not correct grammar from a technically correct standpoint. The Jewish scribes were not about to fix the so-called error that was put down by the hand of God himself. If God put it that way, that's the way he wanted it. But they did, however, make a margin note about it. So they wrote down the wrong variation. This is what is written. Then they made a margin notation that has the correct variation. It is what is read. Then it gives a remez. It's a hint. It's something deeper than what's on the surface. Now, it's important to remember that the word coincidence is not a kosher word. I don't believe that there are coincidences when it comes to the Bible. There may be some coincidences in life, but not in the Bible. Everything in the Bible is there for a reason, and even things that may seem incorrect, they're there for a reason, and they're the way they are for a reason. In this verse, when you compare what is written to what is correct, the numerical value of the written and the correct word is a ratio of 111 to 106. When you apply this ratio to the circumference, it makes the circumference 31.41509433962 cubits. That is accurate to less than 15 one-thousandths of an inch. It is 15 times more accurate than the 3 1/7 cubits that would be estimated using the standard approximation for pi. 15 one-thousandths of an inch. A grain of mustard is about 5 100ths of an inch. This is more accurate than what's required in physics classes. This error is not a coincidence.